Gangle is changing drastically in episode 4, which we know is gonna focus on her. Based on the first teaser picture we got, it seems like Gangle is finally gonna have a chance to give Jax the treatment he deserves. And maybe we'll also get to see a flashback from her past that could link her to Orsman, the new NPC from episode 4. So let's see what we know for sure and also theorize about the possible happenings in the upcoming episode. So based on the teaser image, we know this new adventure is set in a fast food restaurant called Spudsy's. And this setting is a pretty unique choice for an episode, as it's quite different from the surreal locations we've seen so far. But it might be the perfect environment to shake things up for Gangle. We see all the main characters except for Kinger in the restaurant, and they're all wearing identical uniforms except for Gangle, who looks like she's dressed as a manager. And this is surprising because up until now, Gangle has always been the quiet, almost invisible character who doesn't take charge. She's shown a lot of sensitivity, staying in the background and dealing with Jax's bullying without ever standing up for herself. So making her the manager in this chaotic, busy, fast food setting could be a way to push her out of her comfort zone. In a place like Spudsy's, there's a lot of pressure to keep things organized, keep everyone in line, and take charge when things get chaotic. For a character like Gangle, who is more passive and has trouble standing up for herself, this setting could be designed to challenge her in a major way. It's almost like the creators want to give Gangle a reason to finally stand up, be direct, and tell the others what to do. But Gangle's new role as a manager isn't just about giving orders. It's about facing her biggest insecurities. In episodes 1, 2, and 3, we've seen her struggle with her sensitivity and tendency to avoid confrontation, especially with Jax. Jax has been relentless with his bullying, never showing any empathy for her. Up until now, Gangle's only response have been sadness or silence. She never stands up for herself, and no one else really steps in to protect her either. But maybe that's why episode 4 is so important for Gangle. By putting her in a leadership position, the show could be giving her a reason to break out of her passive, almost shadow-like role and confront her issues directly. It's almost like the episode is setting her up for some kind of personal trial where she has to face her fears head-on. This could be a chance for her to grow, to finally push back against Jax, and to gain some respect from the others. And if Gangle does manage to take control, it could completely change the way the other characters see her, and maybe even how she sees herself. However, as we all know, Jax isn't one to just sit back and accept change, especially if it means losing some control. Jax has been Gangle's main tormentor, constantly bullying her, pulling pranks, and treating her with total disrespect. But now that Gangle might be in a position of authority over him, this episode could give us a real role reversal. Imagine Gangle finally getting to stand up to Jax or even telling him what to do. And of course, Gangle isn't the type to seek revenge, and she probably won't want to make Jax suffer, but she could still find ways to show him that she's not as weak as he thinks. And knowing Jax, he's likely to push back hard. He might try to manipulate Gangle, undermine her, or even make her doubt her ability to lead. If there's any character who would resist Gangle's authority, it's Jax, which could make for some tense and interesting interactions between them. This dynamic could be a big part of the episode's conflict, especially if Jax tries to exploit Gangle's insecurities to keep his power over her. But this whole situation also brings up a bigger question. Why doesn't everyone else ever defend Gangle? We've seen other characters stand up to Jax, like when Ragata defended Pomni in episode 3, but no one has really done that for Gangle. It's like she's been left to deal with Jax's bullying alone. Part of the reason could be that Gangle hasn't really connected with many of the other characters besides Kinger and, unfortunately, Jax. She often seems to be in her own world, focusing on her sadness and keeping to herself. However, if episode 4 focuses on her, we might see her build some new relationships with the other characters like Pomni or Zubul. And since Pomni is the main character, she might take an interest in Gangle's struggle and relate to her, especially since she faced some bullying from Jax herself. There could be an interesting bond between the two, with Pomni maybe stepping in to support Gangle, or at least showing her some kindness that she's not used to getting from the others. And so far, Gangle is one of the most mysterious characters in the show. From what we know, she's 26 years old, loves drawing, and she has a ribbon avatar with 2 masks, a comedy mask and a tragedy mask. And what's interesting is that the comedy mask, which shows her happy face, keeps breaking. Most of the time we only see her wearing the tragedy mask, which makes her look sad. It's like her default state is sadness, and she can only cover it up for brief moments when her comedy mask is intact. And this constant switching between sadness and fleeting happiness could be a symbol of something deeper. Maybe Gangle has had a painful or difficult life that left her with a lot of unresolved sadness, and she uses the comedy mask to try to hide it. And if episode 4 includes a flashback, we might finally get some insight into why Gangle is like this. Maybe she experienced some kind of loss or failure that makes her feel like she can't show her true emotions. This episode could be a chance for her to confront her sadness and accept herself more fully, even the parts she usually tries to hide. And let's not forget about Orsman, the new NPC that is going to be introduced in episode 4. From the teaser, we see Orsman as a customer in Spudsy's, and there's a chance he might play an important role in Gangle's journey. Because in previous episodes, we've seen NPCs like Gummy Goo help characters understand something about themselves, or offer advice. So Orsman could be the same for Gangle, maybe giving her some insight or words of wisdom that help her find her own strength. But there's another possibility. What if Orsman has a connection to Gangle's past? I mean, it's just a theory, but it would add a whole new layer to her story if Orsman somehow relates to Gangle's life outside the digital world. Maybe he's a reminder of something she's trying to forget, or maybe he represents a piece of her past that she needs to confront. But either way, Orsman's presence could be key in helping Gangle realize her own worth and make peace with herself. However, this episode isn't just about Gangle. It could also be a chance for the entire group to work together as a team. In past episodes, we've seen the characters go off on their own paths or split into small groups, but Spudsy's might require them to stick together and cooperate if they want to make it through the adventure. Because fast food places are usually busy, stressful, and require teamwork, so this could be a chance for the group to learn how to support each other better. And it's also great to see Zubul in the teaser image, as they usually don't want to join the others in adventures. They seem to have a spatula for a hand, which might actually make them feel useful in this environment, especially since their usual limbs can make it hard for them to move. Maybe this episode will help Zubul feel more comfortable with themselves, just like it might help Gangle build her confidence. But one mystery in the teaser image is Kinger's absence. Kinger is usually pretty laid back and goes along with whatever adventure Kane plans. So it's strange that he's not present in Spudsy's with the others, but some fans have even suggested that the giant hand pushing Jax in the teaser might belong to Kinger. Maybe he has a different role in this episode, or perhaps he'll appear later on. It's hard to say, but Kinger's absence definitely adds a layer of mystery to the upcoming episode. But let's take a step back and think about the circus as a whole. It's starting to feel like each episode isn't just a random adventure, it's more like a test or a place where each character has to face their own inner struggles. For Gangle, her struggle is clearly about confidence and self-worth. If the circus is designed to challenge its members, then making Gangle a manager in episode 4 could be a way of forcing her to face her insecurities and grow. Because if Gangle can succeed in this role, it could not only change how we see her, but also how she interacts with the other characters. She could finally move out of the background, taking control of her story and standing up for herself in ways we've never seen before. So episode 4 is definitely looking like a major turning point for Gangle. She's got a chance to step into a leadership role, standing up to Jax and possibly gain some new insights into her past or her true self. And with Orsman joining the adventure, we might finally see Gangle take a big step toward becoming a stronger, more confident character. I'm excited to see how this episode changes her and maybe even the dynamic within the whole group. But let me know what you think about how the next adventure will go and how it will change things for Gangle down in the comments. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more theories. See you in the next video.